Hi guys, it's Ankita. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome to Enchanted Bookends. I talk about books here. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel to follow me along on my reading journey. In this video, I am going to talk about Killing Jericho by William Hussey. This book has been published in the US with the same title, Killing Jericho, but name of the author is different. I believe it is Will or William Harker. I'm not sure, but I'll pop a picture on the screen. This book was on display in my library, and I trust my librarians. I'm so glad I picked this one up. It's so beautiful. First and foremost, let's appreciate the book cover. The yellow, black, white, and red is just beautiful, and I could not stop appreciating the book cover while I was reading this. It's a detective fiction. In this book, we follow Scott Jericho, who a few years ago was investigating a homicide of 3 children, and he ends up beating the prime suspect, and because of that he ends up going to prison. When Jericho comes out of prison, he is completely lost. He's in a very bad place. He has lost his job. He doesn't know what to do, and he ends up going back to his community, and his community is really interesting. They are traveling people. So his father, I believe, owns the traveling company, or he is the head of the traveling company, something of that sort. But he ends up going to them. He ends up living with them, and he is really lost in a really bad place, not taking care of himself. But then this one fine day, a professor approaches him, and he brings to Jericho's attention 3 murders that are linked together. But what is really interesting is that those 3 murders are linked to a legend of the traveling people, to a tragedy that happened a long time ago. And we know that once a detective, always a detective. We see that in detective fiction all the time. But Scott ends up privately investigating these murders, and it's pretty interesting. While he's doing that, his old love interest comes into picture, which is interesting. I always love it when the detective has a love interest. It just makes the thriller a little bit more interesting. But there's a personal aspect to these murders, and it's almost like the murderer teases Scott Jericho, and that's a dynamic that I really personally like in detective fiction. And it turns into a cat and mouse game chase, but that there's that tension, and it just keeps building. That's something that I really liked in this book. The momentum of the book was really good, and it's a very typical whodunit English thriller. I was completely captivated. 2 things that really intrigued me: his background, the observations of the traveling people was really interesting to me. Also, I liked Scott Jericho. Okay, the ending left me with an urge to read the next book in this series, which is not out. I believe it is out in the US. I will double check, but it is not yet out in the UK, and I'm really looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong, there is no cliffhanger in this book. We do find out who is the murderer. We do have a closure, but the author still makes you want to read more about this detective, to find out what happens next. It was truly a good book. It's a fairly short read. It's only, I believe, 350 pages, around 350 pages, and I would recommend it. Really, I would say if you're looking for a detective with a different background, and that's what makes him unique, because in all of these reviews of the book, it says a distinctive detective. Yes, he has a distinctive background, makes him really stand out and different. A brilliant new detective, quite unlike any I've met before. True. And a blistering new brand of hero. Check. A detective who breaks every mold. Yes, to a certain extent, yes. I love this book a lot. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this book. So let me know if you have already read this book, or if this intrigues you, or if you have come across a similar book, because I would love to read more books that are similar to this one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.